Hey, welcome everybody. This is John Palmer, Dutch Dr. Speed Selling. This is Raging Verbalist number 96. Countdown to 100 continues. Slowly but surely, we attrit away. That's the way numbers work. And well, we haven't thought about what we're going to do on number 100. But today we have a really interesting topic. And the question is, are you ready for this brave new world that's coming about? Now, before we get there, just a quick notice about what's going on. First off, we talk about all kinds of topics and areas. If you want to join the conversation, you want to add some topics, you want to throw some things in, go to the Facebook page, Position to Win book, because remember, that's my book, Position to Win, but it's actually most businesses fail. But go to Position to Win book and toss in some stuff. And with me, as always, and this is, and of course, this is the book, shameless plug, is the ever lovely Sandra, who is dealing with little creatures that are bugging her today. So welcome, Sandra.
Hello, how are you? I will note you are not the little creature.
So anyway, so those of you out there, so okay, so we're gonna, we cover an interesting topic, and today we have one. Sandra, talk about it. Let's get going. We don't even want to waste any time. Ready to roll.
All right, so we're talking about RayBan Stories. So what do you think about the new RayBan Stories sunglasses camera combo?
Well, it's interesting because RayBans, for those of you who don't know, is kind of an iconic sunglass company, and they are in all kinds of things. So if you've ever seen Tom Cruise in Risky Business, he had his pair of Wayfarers on. Now, when I do that, I can't actually see the screen, so I can't keep doing that. But anyway, so everybody's kind of like into these things. And when before I had my LASIK eye surgery, what I would do is I would go and get a prescription set of them. In fact, before we get to stories, I'm going to tell you my tale of woe, which I had these wonderful RayBan sunglasses that were a prescription lens. Now that means that they work for me, and maybe I have an ocular doppelganger somewhere on this planet that could use them also. But when I pulled in to drop off the rental car, I took them off because, of course, I'm going inside of a garage. It's too dark to wear the sunglasses, and I forgot the damn sunglasses in the rental car. I realized that, and I call them. As soon as I get to I ride the airport shuttle bus, and then I go, damn, I forgot my sunglasses. Call them up, and they swear they could not find them. What they would ever do with those, I do not know. So sadness ensued. Now, fast forward, I end up getting LASIK eye surgery, and now I can go out and buy all kinds of cool sunglasses. And of course, one of the first pairs I ever bought were real RayBans. But what I did was I decided I want to get really cool driving RayBans with custom lenses. And here these babies are. And these things are really cool. And they don't even make the lenses anymore. So these are like really, really cool. So I understand that, now that RayBan, now that you know my history with RayBan, now you know what I'm doing. And by the way, there's like this, it's in songs. Anyway. So let's talk about the RayBan Stories, and what it is. It's a combination RayBans, looks like Wayfarers, but they have cameras built in. Now, this is not the first time that there have been cameras built in to this, and but these look really good. They look like just standard Wayfarers, but they have these two little cameras on the sides, and what they are is they allow you to walk around and take pictures and some little videos and post it. And apparently the video is pretty good. So what I think is that at $300, and by the way, for those of you who are only buying, at the dollar store buying sunglasses, $300 is not a crazy number. I will tell you the sunglasses that I lusted after. I was in Vegas. I was at Neiman Marcus. Yes, Neiman Marcus, needless markup. And I was sitting there and I saw these Tom Fords, which I loved. And the guy said, yep, well, they're on sale for $550. I don't have them. I would not spend $550 at that point in time. Probably still wouldn't, but anyway. So we will see what happens as they walk around. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a great idea. And it really talks to the fact that we are all going to be photographed. So if you're doing something, something, got to be careful. And I think there's going to be lots of ramifications of them. So it's kind of, that's my winding road to how I think they are gonna be successful, but it's gonna be a little spooky kooky.
All right. So having said that, is this really new, or is just the newest?
So people have been, good question. People have been looking for a long time of how to incorporate video or cameras, actually, just let's say cameras into, you know, a glasses frame or sunglasses. And this has been going on for a long time, usually really poor implementations. And in fact, and I wish I could have found them for this, but who knows? They're somewhere in storage, and they're off to the universe. But Snapchat actually had a pair of glasses. Now these things look big and goofy, and they basically spell you as a internet. I don't know. I don't even know if nerd is the right word. I mean, you're just like, are you kidding me? I mean, because they got these big old honking things. I mean, it's like, yikes, something like horror movie. But so this is the newest, and this is the way that they're going. But this is not new, and people have been doing this for a long time. And of course, they used to be done for spy cameras and things like that. Now, supposedly, the folks at Facebook and RayBan wanted to make sure that the little light would come on, and people would say, "How come your sunglasses are glowing?" And you could always just say, "Well, I eat well," or I drink wheatgrass or something. But no, it's supposed to be a little warning that that's going on. So this is just the latest iteration in what this is going to be about. And part of this is that our incessant drive and motivation to capture every image that we possibly can around us. And I got it, because there's lots of cool things. You go, hey, that would be cool to capture. Ooh, that'd be cool to capture. Ooh, that'd be great to capture. But now you've got them wherever you go. Now, I think the other part is that they also wanted it to be more subtle than somebody doing this, right? Which is holding up their phone and taking pictures of people is not very subtle. And, people will go, what are you taking a picture of me? But now you can just sit there and of course they say that since you're putting your finger up to the temple, that you can just, people will know that you're doing something. I just think it's a nervous tick, and people are just messing with their glasses. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen people playing with sunglasses, but they're on, they're off, they're on, they're off, they're doing this, they're twirling this, they're doing that. I mean, come on, everybody's playing with the thing all the time. Humans are fidgety, and away you go. So yeah, this is just the latest incarnation, and it doesn't look like like you should be driving a little clown car or something.
All right. So what does this mean for privacy?
So all of you out there who think that you have any modicum of privacy when you're walking around out in the world, I say, forget about it. By the way, that's a kind of a tri-state kind of thing, actually more like New York, New Jersey. Forget about it. I'm not saying it the right way. I mean, I don't know if it's in the Oxford Dictionary or not. It's a lot of words jammed together. But I'm going to tell you that privacy is out the window. And the reason why that's so important is that when I see people talking about how, I'm just concerned that the people are going to take pictures or not, I'll tell you a really fascinating, I think it's fascinating. So there's this America's Got Talent television show. You may have heard of it. It's very popular. And every year, what they would do is they would have the Las Vegas Showcase. And Las Vegas Showcase is they would have a show, one time only show, and they would have people go, and they would go sit in a Las Vegas showroom and watch all these performers come out. And they would have an MC, and no, you didn't get to see Simon and all these others, but they had it was a pretty well done show. Now, if you've ever been to a Vegas show, when they say no cameras, when they say no recording devices, when they say, they're pretty damn serious about it. Now, my wife says, listen, I like America's Got Talent. We're going to be in Vegas. Let's go see the show. Okay, I like going to shows. So we go to a show. Now, this is very quickly, I discern, I figure out, I capture in my own head, this is a very different crowd, because these people really are not a normal Vegas show crowd. These are people who have been watching a television show for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And by the way, because of that, they have a sense that they actually know the performers, because, you know, they know the backstory. They found out that they like, you know, butterscotch pudding pops, which are hard to find, and, you know, and all of these other things. And, you know, so they come on and they said, here's a brief announcement. You cannot record, you cannot, you know, video, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. And everybody, you know, okay. And then it starts, the show starts. Now, I want to listen to the performers. And two things happen. Number one is that everyone, with the exception of us, seemingly has their cell phone out, and they're taking selfies and taking pictures of the stage. The second thing is they think they're sitting at home in their dueling lazy boy recliners talking to their big screen TV, because everybody is talking. I've never seen this before in my life. And as somebody who gets on stage from time to time, I would be really pissed. I mean, you have an entire place filled with that, and these people are going on and on and on. Say the least, it was not a lot of fun for me, but these people took lots of video. And I asked the usher guy at the end, I just, you know, I mean, I'm not a narc or anything, but I had said, what the hell, man? I mean, you know, what are you doing? He goes, yeah, this crowd, if we took away everybody's cell phone, what would, you know, no, you know, these people would know what to do. Crazy. So privacy is out the window. Now, having said that, I have to tell you that what you really ought to think about if you want to go out there and build your business, though, is that to be successful, you have to think in terms of what can you do to make your business more successful? Well, you want to position yourself over the noise, and that's where you should go consider and buy. Most businesses fail in the first 5 minutes. It just takes them 3 to 5 years to realize a position to win. You can go to the positiontowinbook.com website, positiontowinbook.website. Some free stuff, but you can also sign up and buy the book there, and I will sign it. Tell me what you want me to say to you. Make sure it isn't, you know, too profane. Also, you can get it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, wherever books are sold. And then also check out the Position to Win podcast. Also in every electronic format known to that we know, Apple, Nook, and Kindle. And also my Remote Work for a Better World is all about how to work remotely and get things done. So go check all those things out. And by the way, leave a like, subscribe, and come and spend some time with us every week. So, Sandra, what is the next question?
All right. So how does this add to the never-ending explosion in video?
You know, one of the interesting things about motion pictures, about all of these things, is that it's mind-boggling to think that wasn't that long ago that we didn't have motion pictures. We didn't have moving pictures at all. And it's a fascinating story about how that was proven. By the way, a racehorse, you know, to settle a bet on horses, racing horses in particular, is how the initial funding happened to go out and develop the technology to go out and do multi-frame, which is really what you're looking at right now. I mean, you're looking at so many frames a second, and because it's all these frames in succession, it turns out that it's a, you know, a motion video, and away you go. So what this does, I think that this whole explosion, I mean, and who knows where we're going to go, but now we've got sunglasses that we can now take more and more video and upload more and more video. And I think that it's just going to continue to blow that up and explode that up and do all that. My suggestion to all of you, though, is that at some point in time, think about, you know, can I figure out a cool looking video or something that actually would make somebody interested in watching it or doing something with it? Because for the most part, what happens is that there's more and more of this. So I think that there's going to, this will just add to it. I think it will be somewhat of a niche product, because at $300, you know, let's face it, you can buy a brand new Android phone for $300 unlocked. But it's kind of a cool little, you know, it's going to get some pretty interesting stuff that you're not going to find otherwise. You know, those things that shouldn't be captured and those things that should be captured. So we'll see what kind of censorship will take place because of that.
So can you actually do something useful with this, or is it just a gimmick?
Well, you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do with 30 seconds of video and how to make that work. And most people, if you put a camera, if you aim a camera at somebody and say something smart, say something witty, say something wise, you've got 30 seconds. It's easier to do long form than short form. So I think you're going to see people capturing oh, look, no, there's there's a big giant bison in, in Yellowstone Park and people walking up to it. By the way, as a public service announcement, we don't normally do PSAs, but I think that Sandra would agree with me since she grew up on a farm with large animals. Don't pet the bison is, I think, one of them that we could both agree with. Sandra, would you agree? You don't want to go pet a bison?
Yeah, don't do that. It's dumb. But you could capture that stupidity on RayBan Stories.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people watching and saying, look, this is a cuddly little bear. No, don't play with the bear, and I always find it interesting when people do that, because they always are, come away, maimed, and they go, well, and they had 181 stitches, and they go, well, everything was going great until the bear clawed me almost to death. Really? Huh? Whoever knew that? But you're right. If that person's friends had their RayBan Stories, they could have captured it and been away from there in somewhat of a safe distance, and and all of that. So yeah. And by the way, I think this also adds to the voyeuristic nature of this. Like I said, I can see this going to places where it shouldn't, and taking videos of things that we couldn't before. So I think it's going to move from gimmick to just the reality of every place you go is going to have video, and people are going to be capturing video.
So how can you use this in a business setting?
So the interesting thing about in a business setting is that now whenever you're walking around and you see, I'll give you three things you can do. Not one, not two, but three. Number one is that when you're walking around anywhere and you're wearing your RayBan Stories, which obviously you're looking cool, you're looking good, you don't look like you're some goofball wearing, geeky glasses, is that if you see something that's interesting, if you see something that makes some sense, capture it, because those ideas can feed back into your head. And it's very difficult, for somebody to say, well, I'm going to remember it. I mean, even writing it down is good, but, taking a video shot of it is probably, or, a photo or a video is probably a good idea. And the world is filled with lots of absurdities, just like the funeral home that now has the movable billboard that says, don't get vaccinated. And then the name of the funeral home. That's one of my current favorites. I think that's a good Darwinistic thing to have in your advertising. So that's one thing. Capture ideas, capture stuff that's out there. The second thing is that if you can say to a customer, let me capture you saying something for 30 seconds. Now, as soon as it's funny, the most, and I'll use a fancy word, loquacious, that means talkative person. I'd be like me. And what happens though is that when you point a camera at somebody and say, well, just say some nice things, is that people just freeze up, they clam up, they don't say anything. So maybe what you can do is capture something and then show it to them, get their permission before you go posting it, but show people saying nice things about you. And the third thing you can do is you can document. If somebody is saying something really kind of outrageous or crazy, you can capture it so that way you have evidence of their insanity. So I think those are three potentially useful ideas. Sandra, do you have a useful idea? I mean, what would you say would be a useful something that Sandra would go, yep, you can actually do this and it would make sense?
Oh gosh. I would say maybe instructional, potentially, depending on the company or what you're doing, or like a quick, because there's different things where you can record your screen. Well, if you're like putting something together and you're just wearing the glasses and it's easier. So
okay, I like that. So yeah, so somebody wants to know, yep, don't push that big red button that says danger, danger, danger. Yeah, that would be good.
Exactly.
So maybe you can use that. Okay, so I think those are the ways to do that.
The only other thing I could think of is like video tour, maybe. Something
Could be.
like that.
Yeah, could be a video tour. Yeah, walking through the museum, and now of course in the museum they'll say don't take pictures, but So there we go.
There you go. All right. So look into your crystal ball with your Ray-Bans and record what the future holds. What does the future hold?
Well, since we now have high, and I don't know the resolution, I don't know those types of things, but it seems like it's pretty high res and everything. Is that what I think we're going to see? Is we're going to see more of this. We're going to see more powerful cameras, better cameras. We're going to see more that you can do with it. And my guess is that you probably should figure out how to figure out how to use it. More importantly, is that this means that you should never be at a loss for capturing images. Famous photographer Helmut Newton was asked, "What's the best camera you can own?" And he said, "The one that you'll use." So if you have these on and you can use them and you can just click and capture something, I think that's a good thing. So I think we're going to see higher resolution, more capability, probably has Wi-Fi, probably be able to transmit and send things live. And that's really the future. I think that that's going to continue. That's incremental. Now, somebody's going to come up with an app or somebody's going to come up with an idea. And, when you do, whisper in my ear so we can capitalize on it. But what you're going to do is you're going to find some way, some amazing way to use this that isn't known today that will, in fact, break things out. I mean, you could have knocked me over with a feather, as the saying goes, that people be watching TikTok. And when I go in and watch, because now, by the way, the TikTok videos are coming over to YouTube, and I started watching these things just to see. And when you see that 3.5 million people have watched this thing, that's like a lot of people, and that's a big deal. So I think that's what we're looking like in the future, and I think that's where we're going to go, and we're going to see this take off. Now, having said that, I think that Sandra and I should leave you with, of course, our sunglasses on, and tell you that until next time, you should be joining us, myself and Sandra, on the Raging Verbalist. Sandra, any last comments as you mount up with your big old sunglasses?
There we go. Happy snapping with your RayBan Stories.
Yeah, and send us a private message and say, hey, guys, or not a private message, get this word out. And if you do that, all I can say is that we have done our part. So be careful, because who knows, those Ray-Bans that you're looking at on that other person may be recording you doing something that you shouldn't be doing.